Hey guys, Alpaca77 here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be giving you my top tips to a good start to FIFA 14. I did this last year, about this time last year I think, and it went down really well and it's got about 30,000 views now. So yeah, as the web app is out in a couple of weeks, I thought I may as well do this and give you a few of my tips that I'll be using along the way. Couldn't really think what to put in the background of this video, so I just went through my club and you'll be able to see a few of my players in each particular league. And if you don't want to watch that, then don't worry, just minimise it and just listen to me. But if you are interested in that, then you can watch that. So these tips, I was going to make about 5 of them, but then I ended up jotting down about 7. All these tips are in no particular order, but I'll just kind of read them out and talk through them all as I go through. So my first tip is when the web app is released, players are cheaper as there's less coins. So do not make the mistake that I did last year and was head into the full release of the game with coins spare. You may be thinking, oh, that's not a bad thing, you've got coins to buy players as when people are going to be opening packs and the full game's out. But you're better off investing those coins on the web app. As I said, players are cheaper and people want to sell those players and get coins themselves. What they don't realise is that the players are pretty much going to double in price when demand increases and everyone else has coins when the game is out. In the first week, just as an example, I managed to pick up a lot of players just on the web app when it was only the web app was out, such as Lacazette for, I think they were going for about 5 to 10k, picked one up for about 8k I think it was, and then he went straight up to 30k. There was Alessandrini who was about the same price, 5 to 10k, then went straight up to 30k, and there was one that I should have invested in, and that was Inform Butner. So Informs in the first week especially, make sure that you invest in those, even if they don't look amazing. Butner didn't look amazing, he had pace, but he didn't look to me like a 70k player. But if I'd invested in him, I would have doubled and tripled my money, as he got price fixed after the first week to about 250, 300k. So the Informs in the first week are going to be the rarest, and as long as there's no sort of second Informs of those players within a few months, you can easily double or triple your coins. You've also got the silver 5-star skillers to look out for as well. They're usually a safe investment. So in my opinion, and what you should do is you should never go into the full release of the game with coins. You should invest it all in players, as these players are going to double in price. Even if you only keep these players for a few days, even if you buy players a few days before the game's fully out and sell them the first day when everyone's opening packs, that is well worth doing, as players are going to go up in price. My second tip is if you find a couple of specific players you definitely want during the first week of the web app or during the web app stage, keep checking for buy it nows around the 59th minute mark. There are lots and lots of players that you can pick up fairly cheap, as people just stick them up there to get really easy coins. And as an example, I was looking for Mlapa. I really wanted Mlapa for my Bundesliga team before the game was out. I really wanted one just to put in my squad or keep in my club, and I managed to pick up a 4-on-2-on-2 Mlapa for 700 coins. Now you guys all know that when the game came out, Mlapa went straight up to 10, 20k because he's really overpowered in this game. So players like that, if you are searching for particular players, you have decided what squads you want to make, then keep searching for those players, as usually you probably will find some. So on to tip number 3, and that is don't spend coins on packs. That's something I've never done, and I wouldn't really advise doing until sort of a few months into the game if you really want to, as coins can be used much more wisely elsewhere for investments and such right at the start of the game. If you do want to open packs, then put a bit of money into Microsoft points. I don't think it's Microsoft points now, but put a bit of money into packs right at the start of the game, as it's probably well worth doing, to be honest, as for about 30k for 4,000 Microsoft points last year, that would usually, if you got quite lucky, get you straight up to 1 mil right at the start of the game. Tip number 4 is to do with the free packs you'll get at the start. If you've played FIFA previously, then you will probably know that you do get a few free packs depending on how long you've played. I think Foot Founders get the most free packs, and then you get packs depending on how long you've played for. So you should get about 3 or 4 free packs, or two or 4, I think, depending on how long you've played, if it's anything like last year. And the tip for that, if you get decent players in your free packs, you have 2 options. You can either sell those players in the first week on the web app and get a bit less money than you would do, but then use that money to trade, or you can wait until the game is released, as the players will go for much more. So it's really up to you. If you're going to invest some money and you're going to do some trading on the web app, then sell the players you get. If you're not, then keep the players until the game is released and then sell the players, as they'll go for so much more. Tip number 5 is something that has worked in previous years, and I don't know whether it will work now, as it might be a little too late, but making a couple of new Xbox Live accounts may help you in the long run, or help you in the first week, as you'll get lots and lots more daily gifts. So if you make a couple of new Xbox Live accounts, go onto FIFA with them, you should be able to get daily gifts on those accounts, as they technically have played FIFA 13. You won't get any free packs because you haven't played properly or you haven't played previous years, but a week's worth of daily gifts on a couple of accounts can go a long way to helping you buy your first team, especially if you get really lucky and say if you have, say, like 5 extra accounts and each day you get about 1k, and that's 5k every single day for 5 days, then you'll get 25k, and that's really, really easy. Tip number 6 is to use sites such as Footwiz or Foothead before the game is released to work out the teams you want to make, and look out for really, really good silver players to invest in. You may find some players that others aren't aware of, or if you search the databases, you may find some players in the newer leagues, such I think there's the Argentinian League and there's going to be the Chile League, and players like that. There should be some really, really nice silvers or possibly nice bronzes with good skills, stuff like that. So try and look out for players that other people aren't going to see and aren't going to notice, and those are the sort of players that you can probably get for cheap, such as, for example, last year the Saudi League, they were going for fairly cheap, or they were going for pretty much nothing right at the start of the game, but into a sort of few weeks into the game, then everyone was kind of aware that the new league was actually there and there were some fairly decent players, therefore the prices went up. And my very last tip, tip number 7, is look out for players who've been released in starter packs and then taken out after a day. There were a heap of them last year. They're probably about sort of 20-30 players who were put into packs accidentally for the wrong clubs, or clubs they previously played for as EA forgot to transfer them, or players that have transferred from clubs and are no longer on the game. There's players like that who you can make a lot of money from if you get them fairly cheap. Things players such as the Ajax Van der Wiel, who obviously plays for PSG now, and they accidentally put him in packs on the PS3 at the start, and there are quite a few bronzes who are always really, really rare, who they do accidentally put in the start, who shouldn't be in the game, but you can pick up. I think there was also a very good Brazil silver midfielder who plays for Benfica, who was only out in packs for about 1 day. I did see a couple on the PS3 market, and there weren't any on pretty much after the first week. So players like that you can pick up, and you can make tons and tons of money in the next few months. So there you go, guys, those are my tips to a good start on FIFA 14. Most of those tips I will pretty much be using, so if you follow even a couple of them, you should get off to a good start on FIFA 14. If you like this video, please feel free to give this a like, and thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.